Hey everyone, my name is Cal, and today we're going to be finding out if we could beat Pokemon Leaf Green using hardcore Nuzlocke rules, playing Poison type Pokemon. That is right, Poison type Pokemon in Fire Red and Leaf Green are fantastic. There's about 13 Pokemon, however, because we are only playing Leaf Green, we would not have access to Arbok and Vileplume. But that's okay because we do have access to Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and other fantastic Pokemon like Muck, one of my favorite Poison type Pokemon. Let's go ahead and strap on in and let's see how many Pokemon we can have poisoned. As we start off our journey, we go ahead and get introduced to Professor Oak, who then go ahead and tells us we should be affectionate towards Pokemon. Then shows us a Nidoran. Oak, are you leading us down a certain path? We then go ahead and name ourselves Kalios because that is who we are. After that, we go ahead and introduce ourselves to our rival, who I decided to go ahead and name Iki based off of Saint Seiya. The reason behind that is because I've been playing so much Smite lately that I decided I wanted to go ahead with a certain theme when it came to this run. We go ahead and grab ourselves a Bulbasaur, who I decided to go ahead and name Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is one of the gods that's based off in Smite, and man, as it turns out, he has a naughty nature, which is terrible for us. The naughty nature really does hurt us because we are both special attacker and special defense, and while naughty only boosts its attack, but it also takes away our special defense, which doesn't help us, especially in Gen 1 where literally grass was known as a special attacker only type move. So it really did hurt us. Either way, we do go ahead and press on as we take on Charmander from Iki, which we are able to get a crit and survive. Whew, that was tough battle for our first match. Not off to a good start. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on to where we go ahead and find out that Professor Oak is holding two people hostage. After that, I go ahead and venture over to Viridian Forest to where I find my first encounter, which happens to be a Weedle. Now, Weedle is going to be a very good addition to the team as it is a bug Pokemon, but also a poison type. This goes ahead and lets us get to a third stage Pokemon very quickly as they do evolve very fast. I decided to continue with the Smite lore of names, and I decided to name Weedle Zeus. Because why not? After that, I go ahead and check the nature, and oh my, it turns out that Weedle has a modest nature. This is very bad because Weedle is a poison type Pokemon, and in this generation, poison moves are all physical. This hurts as it does lower our physical attack. Oh brother, this run is starting off rough. Finding out about my disappointing nature, I decided to go ahead and train. I go ahead to the route where I could find a bunch of Mankeys and a bunch of Rattatas. This is going to go ahead and help me increase my effort values in the attack stat, which is going to be super helpful when it comes to Weedle, as he's severely lacking due to the nature. I go ahead and finally evolve my Weedle into Kakuna, and now we are able to go ahead and make progress. This evolution is going to go ahead and help us increase our stats overall. After that, I decided to keep on training with the same path. That way we can go ahead and get into a Beedrill of evolution. And while training, I go ahead and find something amazing, a shiny Rattata. Oh my, this would have been amazing if I was doing a normal run for Leaf Green. However, because we're not, I'm gonna go ahead and catch him, and we're gonna go ahead and decide to name him HM, as he's gonna be our HM helper. Whew, at least we can do that, right? And once I decide to name him, he faints from the poison from the Kakuna. Now I go ahead and box him as we don't need him yet. We go ahead and now finally evolve our Beedrill, and finally we can go ahead and take on Iki as we have a fully evolved Beedrill, and we decide to go ahead and send off our Beedrill against the Pidgey. I hit him with a Furry attack, which hits for a total of 5 times. Amazing. After that, we hit him with another Furry attack, but it misses, and then we miss again. Finally, we are able to take out the Pidgey with Furry attack. Then I noticed that I don't have set on, so I decided to go ahead and decline. After that, I go ahead and switch out into my Gilgamesh, which I'm able to go ahead and get crit, but I'm still able to take out this Charmander with my Bulbasaur with a few tackles. After that, I go ahead and go right into my menu section so I could go ahead and turn on the set mode again, because man, that is a run killer right there. Whew. After defeating Gary, I decided to go over to Pewter City where I meet a kid that's trying to train his Nidoran to sit. Okay, whatever. Then I go ahead and challenge Brock, the gym leader here, and I send out my Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh goes in and hit him with Vine Whip and takes down his Geodude in one hit. I then go ahead and use Leech Seed on his Onix, which saps away its life energy. After that, he misses and I hit him with a Vine Whip, which destroys him in one hit once again. Man, Brock, that was really easy. How did you become a gym leader? Anyways, I go ahead and walk around the city and I meet this one guy who literally just called me a hobbyist because I like to have a bug. Huh. Alright, well, rude and mean. After being insulted, I decided it's time to evolve Gilgamesh into an Ivysaur. Then I'm like, hey, we need another encounter, so I find a female Nidoran. I decided to go ahead and name her Medusa as we cannot catch an Arbok in this game. And I really want to name a Pokemon Medusa. Turns out she has a quirky nature, which is neutral. We lose special defense, but we also gain special defense. So hey, beggars can't be choosers, especially after the last two one. I then evolved my Medusa into Nidorina and head into Mount Moon to go ahead and catch a Zubat. The Zubat I decided to go ahead and name is Athena, as it's a female Pokemon. That's already 2 female Pokemon on the team, and hey, I can't complain, but man, the nature, sassy, which is terrible because we lose speed stats. Oh man, are these natures going to get better for us? I'm just wondering. After leaving Mount Moon, I run into Iki and Cerulean. He sends out his Pidgeotto and I send out Medusa. I hit it with a few growls and it hits me with Gust. After hitting me with Gust a few times, it goes ahead and gets poisoned due to my ability. Whew, that's awesome. Anyways, I start attacking it with Scratch to see if maybe, just maybe, we can take it out. The poison helps us take it out and I'm like, man, we are too low. So I return to send out my Ivysaur. Gilgamesh hits his Abra with tackles and now he had no worries because Abra only knows one move, teleport. I then put his Charmander to sleep with Sleep Powder and then throw a Leaf Seed on it. After that, I hit it with a few tackles and it wakes up. I'm like, oh boy, I get burned. I'm like, I can't risk it no more, so I send in Athena. Athena gets hit with an Ember, but thanks to the Leaf Seed, we're able to stay alive and hit her with a Bite attack. I then send out Zeus, which I'm able to just go ahead and take it out with a few Furry attacks and one Thief move. Whew, that was a tough battle. I almost lost a few Pokemon there. After helping out Bill, we decided to go ahead and take on Misty, the Cerulean gym leader. I send out Gilgamesh, which is going to make it easy as we go ahead and take her Staryu out in just a few hits. After taking out Staryu, we level up to level 22, which we're able to go ahead and learn Razor Leaf. With that, we go ahead and get hit with a Swift, we put Starmie to sleep, and then hit it with a Leech Seed. I decided to go ahead and hit it with Razor Leaf. Starmie is able to tank it, however, but we are still able to take out in another Razor Leaf. That was an easy battle. On the way to the next one. SSN, here we come. While traveling to Vermilion City, we run into a Bellsprout, which I decided to go ahead and name Hera as she's a female god as well. After naming her Hera, we go ahead and find out we have a lax nature, which is defense, but man, that's not good for us. Then we go ahead and decide to go on to an evolution spree as we go ahead and evolve Bellsprout into Weeping Bell, Athena into Golbat, and finally, we get to evolve our Nidorina into the one and only Nidoqueen. That's right, our Medusa is a beautiful Nidoqueen and she's looking to show her true dominance. Watch out, boys. Here she comes. After evolving everyone, I decided to go ahead and find Iki on the SSN. I take out his Pidgeotto with Medusa with one Body Slam. I then go ahead and take out his Kadabra with one Bite. He sends out Eradicate and we double kick him to the end of the earth. Finally, he sends out Charmeleon. I'm just going to go ahead and bite his tail off. Man, what an easy battle. I guess that's what you get for not being a helpful person, Iki. After that, we go upstairs to find this captain who is seasick. All he needed was his back rub, but you know what? Iki was just like, I'm not doing that, and he just left. Man, what a great guy. Helping out the captain, I decided to go ahead and take on Lieutenant Surge and send out Medusa. Medusa's an absolute powerhouse due to his ground typing. I hit the Volta with a double kick, which doesn't take it out, but then I do 2 body slams, which is able to finish it. He sends out Pikachu and we just body slam it to death. After that, he sends out Raichu, which I'm able to hit with a body slam, and then it's still not able to take it out after 2, but once he hits us, he gets poisoned due to our ability, and he takes himself out. We go ahead and get our next badge, and we're on the way to the next one, which is Erica. We finally get to Celadon City where I find a peeping Tom checking out all the ladies. After that, we go ahead and face Erica, who sends out a victory bell. I send out Hera, but realize I might as well just send out Athena. Athena goes ahead and gets hit with Stun Spore, and this Stun Spore, man, really slows us down as we could have ended this challenge already. Anyways, we go ahead and hit it with a few wing attacks, and finally the victory bell goes down. She sends out Tangela, which we go ahead and hit with more wing attacks, and that goes down as well. Finally comes out her ace Vileplume, which we're able to go ahead and take out in a few wing attacks as well. And there we go. We finally got the 4th gym badge. Beating Erica, we sneak into Team Rocket's hideout to go ahead and fight Giovanni, who wants all the smoke. I go ahead and take out his Onyx literally with Gilgamesh, one Razor Leaf. Then he sends out his Rhyhorn, and I take that out with one Razor Leaf. I'm able to finally put Kangaskhan to sleep after a few misses and then Leech Seed it. I then decide to swap out into Medusa, that way we can go ahead and tank with double kicks. After the double kicks doesn't work, I decide to go ahead and hit it with Body Slam. It doesn't kill, so I decide to go ahead and hit it with another Body Slam. And we take out Giovanni. After taking out Giovanni, we evolve Gilgamesh into a Venusaur. We then go over to Pokemon Tower where we meet Gary. This time Gary brings a whole new team. He goes ahead and starts out with Pidgeotto, and I send out Medusa. Medusa goes ahead and takes out Pidgeotto in about a few Body Slams. After that, he goes ahead and sends out his Execute, and man, this Pokemon is annoying. I thought I was able to go ahead and one-shot it, but apparently I couldn't. After that, it puts me to sleep and just hits me with a bunch of confusions. I decide to go ahead and swap out and send out Athena. Athena is able to go ahead and take it out with one wing attack. He then goes ahead and sends out his Kadabra, which I'm able to hit with Confuse Ray. It hits itself, and then I'm able to take it out with one bite attack. After that, he sends out Gyarados. I go ahead and hit Confuse Ray once again, and I decide to go ahead and try to take it out with a few bites. Realizing that's not working, I go ahead and send out Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh then comes in with the Thrash, and I hit it with Razor Leaf. After that, it hits me again, and I hit it with another Razor Leaf. He finally sends out his last Pokemon, Charmeleon. I use Sleep Powder on it, and then I hit it with Leech Seed. After that, I go ahead and swap out into Medusa. Medusa is then able to power through the sleep and wake up. It hits it with a few Body Slams, and down goes Charmeleon. Man, that was an easy battle, but it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for that Execute. Athena then tries to evolve, but because it's Fire Red and Leaf Green, we can't until we get the National Pokedex. Staying to pray for Iki's dead Eradicate, we find ourselves our next encounter, a Ghastly. The Ghastly is a female, so we're going to go ahead and name it another female god. I decided to go ahead and name it Cleodana. The reason I decided to name it is because Cleodana is like a wraith, so why not, right? Anyways, we then go ahead and check out the nature, and to my surprise, it's another terrible nature, Jolly. This really hurts because it lowers our special attack, even though our speed does increase, but Gengar is literally a special attacker. After taking care of business in Pokemon Tower, we decide to head over to Fuchsia City where we run into a Venonat. The Venonat is a male, so we decide to go ahead and catch it and call it Anubis. Now Anubis does have a bold ability, and honestly, it isn't as bad as I thought it would be. However, it's still not as good. Man, I'm still looking for a good nature. In Fuchsia City, I decided to head over to Safari Zone to go ahead and find our next encounter, Nidorino. Nidorino, I decided to go ahead and name Odin, and man, I looked at the nature, and honestly, it could have been a lot worse. It decided to have a lax nature, which lowers our special defense, but raises our actual defense. So I'm okay with that. On to Koga. Due to Koga and Sabrina having an insane level cap, I decided to go in a little under leveled. I send out Gilgamesh, and I go ahead and put his Coughing to sleep. I then go ahead and hit it with Leech Seed. After that, I go ahead and hit it with a few Razor Leaves. It decides to keep tanking, but the Leech Seed is just enough to go ahead and take it out. Awesome. He then goes in and sends out Muck. I go with Sleep Powder, but I miss. He hits me with Minimize, and then I'm finally able to hit him with Sleep Powder. I Leech Seed that as well. After Leech Seeding it, I decided to go ahead and switch into Odin. Odin's able to take the Sludge, and then we're able to just go for a few digs. Now, unfortunately, we do miss the first dig, and then I go ahead and hit him with a second dig. We are able to go ahead and take it out though. Finally, he goes ahead and sends in his next Pokemon, which is Coughing. I hit it with a few strings since digs won't work due to it having the levitate ability. This is easily enough to go ahead and take it out. He then sends out Weezling, which I then go ahead and send out Gilgamesh. I hit it with Leech Seed. He brings me all the way down to 21 HP after a crit, and then I send in Medusa. Medusa is able to go ahead and finish off Weezling with a few Body Slams. Man, that crit would have been crazy if it did kill. Thank gosh it didn't. Whew, on to the next match. After Koga, I decided to go to Saffron City so where I can go ahead and take on the next gym, which is the Hitmonchan and Hitmonchan gym leader. Now, this person did get cast out because of Sabrina, and man, when I tell you, I'm about to do the same thing. I send out Hera, which we're able to go ahead and take out his Hitmonlee. After that, I send out Athena, and we're just able to take out the Hitmonchan. I can see why you didn't qualify as a gym leader anymore. Anyways, Sabrina, you're next. Before taking on Iki and Silco, I decided to go ahead and surf over to Cinnabar Island so we can make sure we have a check for his Charizard. I go ahead and find myself a tentacle and I go and name it Poseidon. Poseidon turned out to have a naive nature. This lowers special defense but also increases speed, which I'm not mad about because now we may be able to go ahead and outspeed his Charizard. Man, let's just hope. I really need something that can check him. Go ahead and training up a little bit, I'm finally able to go ahead and evolve my tentacle into a Tentacruel. Poseidon is now ready to go ahead and take on Iki as Silco. Iki go ahead and starts off with his Pidgeot while I go ahead and start with Cleodana. Cleodana is able to go ahead and two-shot it with 2 Thunderbolts. After that, he goes ahead and sends out his Execute. I decided to go ahead and send out Athena. Once sending out Athena, I decided to go ahead and hit it with Confuse Ray. It then hits me with Stun Pour, so it does slow me, but we are able to go ahead and fight through to go ahead and finish it off completely. He then sends out Alakazam and I go ahead and hit it with a few wing attacks. After that, he sends out his Gyarados. I hit it with Confuse Ray, hoping that this would be enough, but unfortunately it was taking long enough, so I went ahead and switched. Cleodana then comes out and we hit it with Thunderbolt. After that, he sends out his Charizard. This is why we went ahead and trained up Poseidon, because we really needed to tank a Flamethrower. It takes it out in 2 surfs and man, was that an easy battle. Thanks Poseidon, big help. Decided to go ahead and take out Giovanni at Silco, and Poseidon just completely annihilates him. After that, we are able to go ahead and talk to the president because we just saved him and he gives us a Master Ball. Like, man, could you not just pay off my school loans? Anyways, we go ahead and take on Sabrina. Sabrina sends out Kadabra and we send out Medusa. Medusa hits it with a bite which makes it flinch. After that, it sends out Mr. Mime. We're able to make him flinch again and then hit it with another bite. We finally are able to take it down with Body Slam. She sends out Alakazam, which we survive with 1 HP and are able to paralyze it thanks to Body Slam. We switch that out and send out Poseidon. Poseidon is able to take it out with 1 surf. She then sends out Venomoth, which we take out in 2 surfs. Man, oh man, almost losing Medusa would have been very sad. But thank God we were able to pull it through. After defeating Sabrina, I head over to Cinnabar Island and go into the Pokemon Mansion to catch our last encounter, Muck. I decided to go ahead and name Muck Thor because he's going to be the one that saves us all. He has a lonely nature which raises attack and lowers defense. It's not too bad, as we did need something like that. We go ahead and fight on Blaine as Blaine sends out Growlithe. We send out Medusa and we hit it with a Surf that 1 hit KOs it. He sends out Ponyta and once again we hit it with a Surf. It survived but is able to go down after about a few more Surfs and a few Hyper Potions. Finally, he sends out Rapidash, and honestly Rapidash is once again, just like its previous encounter, is no match for us. It hits us with Fire Blast and we send out once again another Surf. He finally sends out Arcanine and I send out Poseidon. Poseidon is able to just go hit it with a few Surfs and bam, it's over. On to the next gym, the 8th gym badge. Now, while at the 8th gym, we find out that the gym leader is Giovanni. Giovanni sends out Rhyhorn and I send out Medusa, which we're able to 1-hit it. Once again, it sends out Dugtrio and we're able to 1-hit that too. Finally, it sends out Nidoqueen and I had to show it who was boss. My Nidoqueen happens to be better as we're able to take it out in 2 hits. He then sends out Nidoking and I go ahead and send out Athena. That way we can go ahead and counter the Earthquake. We send out Poseidon and we're able to 1-shot it. Sends out Rhyhorn once again and we're able to 1-shot that as well. Giovanni, man, you have been nothing but easy cookings. After defeating Giovanni, I head over to Victory Road where we're stopped by Iki. Iki sends out Pidgeot and I send out Thor. Thor is able to go ahead and 2-shot it with Sludge Bomb. He then sends out Alakazam, which he's able to go ahead and resist with Sludge Bomb, however was able to get the poison off. I then send out Gilgamesh and it dies to a Sludge Bomb. Finally, he sends out his Charizard and I send out Poseidon, which I'm able to go ahead and tank, but I do get hit pretty hard by Future Sight and then a Wing Attack. We survive with just 17 HP. Whew. He then sends out Rhyhorn and I'm able to 1-shot it. He then sends out Execute and I'm able to go ahead and send out Athena, which we're able to take down in just a few Wing Attacks. Finally, he sends out Gyarados. Now, knowing that Gyarados doesn't have any flying moves in this gen, I go ahead and send out Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is able to go ahead and hit it with a few Razor Leaves and a Sleep Powder and a few Leech Seeds. After that, we're able to go ahead and take out Gyarados. Honestly, that battle was a lot easier than I thought it would be. And yet he's still talking trash as if I'm far behind him. Who would have thought, huh? Finally, the Elite Four. And honestly, this is the worst matchup of them all for me. I send out Gilgamesh, who then puts Dugong to sleep. However, Dugong wakes up and is able to put up a safeguard, which ruins my plans for putting all her other Pokemon to sleep. She then sends out Slowbro and yawns. After that, I go ahead and switch into Poseidon, who gets immediately frozen. Are you serious? She then decides to hit us with a few Surf, which we're taking well. However, we're still not thawing now, so I send out Gilgamesh once more, knowing that it was Surf. I'm able to go ahead and switch in and kill off Slowbro. She then sends out Lapras. I then go ahead and put it to sleep and hit it with Leaf Seed. After that, I hit it with a few Razor Leafs and bam, we crit. She then sends out Jinx and I missed my sleep powder, but she's able to hit me with Lovely Kiss. I have to switch out now. I switch into Thor, who gets hit with Attract. After that, I get put to sleep, but Thor said he doesn't believe in love and wakes up and fights through love. Hits it with 2 Fire Blasts to completely take out Jinx. Finally, Cloyster. I go ahead and use Fire Blast once more and she tanks. After that, I hit it with a Sludge Bomb. It then dies to Poison. Whew, I thought that was going to be a lot tougher. We now go ahead and take on Bruno, who specializes in rock and fighting type. I send out Gilgamesh and I'm able to go ahead and one shot with 1 Razor Leaf. He then sends out Hitmonchan and then Sky uppercuts me. I put it to sleep and then hit it with a Leech Seed. After that, I'm sapping away some of his energy and I decide to hit it with more Razor Leafs. It hits it with Rock Tomb to slow us down, but it really doesn't matter after it full restores. We hit it with a few Razor Leafs and bam, we are still in good looking. We now decide to go ahead and switch out into Athena so Athena could sweep. We hit it with 1 Wing Attack. He then sends out Machamp and we go ahead and Confuse Ray it. It hits itself. We hit it with another Wing Attack and then it hits us with Rock Tomb. After that, it heals from his Citrus Berry, but we're able to go ahead and take it out with another Wing Attack. We then take out Hitmonlee with 1 Wing Attack. We now go ahead and switch into Gilgamesh to take out his Onix with 1 Razor Leaf. And that's how we beat Bruno. After defeating Bruno, we decide to take on Agatha, the next of the Elite 4 members. She sends out Gengar and I send out Medusa. It then uses Double Team and Confuse Ray. This is gonna go ahead and be annoying, but our bites are still able to go ahead and get through. We keep using Bite and getting flinches off to finally take out the Gengar. Yes, finally, no Gengar, no Double Team. Then sends out Haunter, and knowing that we could take out a Gengar, I decide to stay in. She then sends out another Gengar, who puts us to sleep with Hypnosis, and this is where this fight just becomes annoying, because after that, it's just Hypnosis, Hypnosis, Hypnosis. We're doing our best to try to stay alive, and man, I tell you, this is so annoying, because we are not fast enough. So I finally wake up with Nidoking, but it really doesn't matter. I need to get up. After that, I go ahead and send out Poseidon. Poseidon gets hit with Shadow Ball, and we go ahead and gets put back to sleep after a Surf. We then go ahead and wake up to hit it again with Surf. We crit it. Oh my gosh, how lucky. I then decide to try to deal with Golbat, and I feel like the best way was to use Thor. So I just hit it with a few Sludge Bombs. And we are able to go ahead and take out the Golbat. Finally sends out Arbok, and I just knew that this was going to be easy, so I went ahead and put Arbok to sleep. After that, I hit it with Leaf Seed. After hitting with Leaf Seed, I decided to send in Odin, that way we can heal. Odin now able to heal, and then we're just going to go ahead and use Dig to just take it out. Man, this was a lot tougher than I thought it would be, but sheesh, I'm glad we made it past it. Time for Lance. Finally, Lance, the last member of the Elite 4. I know that my attack stat will be lower, so I send out Gilgamesh because it doesn't use any physical attacks. After that, I use Razor Leaf and put it to sleep. Finally, we hit it with some Leaf Seed and we're able to think we're about to take it out with a Frenzy Plant, but it full restores. But that's fine because Leaf Seed finally finishes off. He then sends out Aerodactyl, so I switch into Poseidon. And it hits us with Wing Attack. Thinking I was gonna survive, it hits us down all the way down with Hyper Beam to 5 HP. I then send out Medusa, which is able to take it out. He then sends out Dragonite, and I'm thinking that I could paralysis it, but unfortunately she just goes down. I then put Dragonite to sleep and it wakes up and uses Safeguard. After waking up using Safeguard, I know for sure I cannot work with it underneath that position. So I send in Thor. Thor is then able to go ahead and take down Dragonite. After that, he sends in Dragonair and hits me with a Dragon Rage. Then it uses full restore. and then it hyper beams Thor and Thor goes down. So I decided to send out Gilgamesh then, and we're able to take out the Dragonair. It then sends in another Dragonair, and I just hit it with Razor Leaf. Knowing that it doesn't really have much it can do, I have to switch out though. I then switch into Nidoking, and Odin hits it with a few moves. It doesn't work, so then I decide to switch into Athena. Athena clutches a day with a Poison Fang. Whew, lost 2 Pokemon, but you know what? That's okay. Losing those 2 Pokemon were tough, but now we have to face on Champion Iki. Iki then sends out Pidgeot, so I send out Gilgamesh. I try to put it to sleep and use Leaf Seed. After that, I decide to switch into Odin, that way we can get off a few hits, but it full restores. And then luckily I'm able to take it out in 2 hits. He then sends out Alakazam and we're able to one-shot it with Mega Horn. I then have to switch out because I know he's about to Earthquake me, so I switch into Athena and I hit it with Confuse Ray. After that, I switch into Gilgamesh and put it back to sleep. Then I'm able to go ahead and take out his Rhydon in just 1 hit. He then sends out Charizard, so I send out Poseidon. Poseidon is then once again able to take down the Charizard. Whew, Poseidon, you've been big help. Now comes his beefy Executor. I then hit it with Confuse Ray and I got put to sleep. Now I'm just hoping that I can wake up. Please, wake up. Gilgamesh finally has to come out and it gets put to sleep. Now I need to make sure I can put it to sleep, which I'm able to. So I send out Poseidon. Poseidon hits it with a Blizzard. It's not enough to take it down and it wakes up. Then I use Odin. Odin hits it with Mega Horn and we're able to become the Elite 4 champion. At least I thought. And then I remembered, wait, he still has a Gyarados. So I put it to sleep. Knowing that it can't really do much against me, I went ahead and used Leaf Seed and it full restored, and I'm just gonna put it back to sleep. After putting it back to sleep, I decided to take my chances, but we end up missing. Leaf Seed is taking it down and it goes ahead and full restores. I decided to hit it with Frenzy Plant and once again it full restores. It then hits us with Dragon Rage. I hit it once again with Frenzy Plant and it still lives. I hit it once again with Frenzy Plant and we're finally able to take it down and become the champion of Pokemon Leaf Green. Now the question is, am I able to go ahead and beat it with a poison team only? The answer is yes, and man was it fun but super tough. Thank you all for watching. Please do not forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what type of run would you like to see me do next and on what game. Thank you. Cal Life is signing out. Have a wonderful one, guys. See ya.